As you get older, you realize this is just a big hazard.
Thousands of Coloradans remain without power this morning after dangerous winds ripped through our state this week. How some are coping and if there's any light at the end of the tunnel. And taking a live look outside, you can see that flag moving. We are less than a week from Christmas, and yes, you're going to get to leave that jacket at home. Good morning to you. I'm Lawrence Cafidi. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got meteorologist Jaden Knowles here today. Jaden, two things are blowing my mind this morning. Okay. One, the date, December 20th. How did we get here?
Fast. We got there fast. Yes.
And two, the 7-day.
Yeah, it is very interesting. We're going to break all that down for you. As far as today, though, I would say go ahead and grab that light jacket if you're heading out the door because we just saw a cold front. Now, when we started this show around 6 a.m. this morning, temperatures, especially here in downtown Denver, was in the low to mid 50s, even some places the upper 50s. But that cold front came through. Now temperatures are down to the low to mid 30s. So a little breezy out there and a little chilly out there as well. But today we're still going to see above average temperatures. Usually for this time of year, we're in the mid to upper 40s. We have 53 forecasted for this afternoon, although it will be a shock to the body. So that's the reason you might need that light jacket. Winter alerts, we have that winter weather advisory mainly for the high country. We are still seeing that current snow across most parts of the high country, and even to parts of Fort Collins and even towards the eastern plains. That should continue for the morning hours. For the high country, that's going to continue until about 6 p.m. this afternoon. Current temperatures, I mean, it has just continue to drop since this morning at 6 a.m. 35 degrees here in downtown Denver, 33 over towards Centennial. As far as the wind gusts, I know everyone is super tired of the winds. We'll still see breezy conditions towards the foothills, but then watch what happens as we head to around 5:30, 6 p.m. this afternoon. Wind gusts finally starting to die down. Here's your forecast for this afternoon. As I mentioned, we just saw that cold front, so cooler temperatures is what's in my forecast, low 50s. But overall, we'll talk more in detail about what to expect for the rest of the weekend and, of course, your Christmas forecast later in the show. Lauren?
Jaden, thank you so much. Firefighters are still on high alert this morning, looking for any potential fire situations from the dark. As of last night, 6 of West Metro fire stations don't have power right now. This is because the station is under Xcel Energy's public safety power shutoff. West Metro Fire says conditions like these have led to some of Colorado's most historic fires. As the station makes adjustments to how they run things without power, their main priority is making sure their communication system stays up and running and their rigs are ready to go.
We have really no way to help people if we don't, A, know that they need our help, and B, have the ability to get there with the equipment and the tools we need.
Look at the power outage map from Xcel Energy. Right now, there is no exact timeline for when power will be back on for everyone, but crews will be out through the weekend to make sure all of those power lines are working all right. Some Coloradans have been dealing without power since Wednesday. Joe Del Cueto has lived in a 100-year-old home for more than 30 years. It's in the Indian Hills area of Jefferson County. He slept in a motel on Thursday night and again last night. Even though the weather isn't as cold as it typically would be this time of year, like Jaden was talking about, his home's insulation really just isn't that great. He toughed it out on Wednesday night in his own home, but he realized it wasn't smart.
I was under like 2 big camping blankets and a wool blanket just to be able to sleep. I thought, I have to leave, I have to get out. I can't stay in a house at 52 degrees.
Joe told us he's grateful that his home still has water, but that's not the case for some of his neighbors who rely on well water. Without power, their pumps aren't working, so they can't even flush their toilets. We'll, of course, keep you updated on Xcel's power restoration all throughout the weekend on air and on 9news.com. You can also download the 9 News app, download on your TV, watch for free. 8:04 now, and right now the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help finding a missing at-risk man. They say Christopher Davis walked away from an adult care facility in Morrison late last night. Christopher is 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighs 150 pounds. He has brown eyes and a 6-inch beard that's described as straggly. He was last seen wearing blue jeans and a green puffy sweater hoodie. Christopher has a cognitive impairment and he needs medication daily. If you see him, call the Sheriff's Office, 303-980-7300. One person was taken to the hospital after a shooting involving police in North Glen late last night. North Glen PD says officers were involved in a shooting at around 9 last night. It happened near 104th Avenue and Bannock Street, just west of I-25. The person shot was taken to the hospital. The extent of their injuries, not known this morning. No officers were hurt. Police haven't said yet what led up to this shooting, but said the person shot was initially reported as a suspicious person. Colorado State Patrol will not hit their goal of cutting down on drunk driving crashes by 15% this year. There were 585 DUI crashes in Colorado last year. There have been slightly fewer this year so far, 574, but at least 80 people have died. That includes a toddler killed in Loveland this week. The head of CSP is frustrated.
To know that people will make a selfish decision to do that to another family, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. And you can prevent it. So please do.
This year, State Patrol brought back DUI checkpoints for the first time in nearly a decade. They've put an increased emphasis on statewide sobriety patrols and increased training for troopers. But next year, they want to try something new. They want to respond to DUIs in similar ways to how addiction specialists respond to overdoses.
I'd like to think that when you've just been arrested for making a really poor decision, like that's probably where the regret is the most.
CSP is looking at providing resources for treating addiction when people are arrested for drinking and driving. The Salvation Army is looking to feed Coloradans ahead of the holiday season. They're inviting the community to a free meal this weekend. This has been a tradition with the Salvation Army for many years. It's meant to bring the community together as a reminder that you're not alone for the holidays. The organization says it'll happen at the Colorado Convention Center tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6. For more details, just head over to denvermetro.salvationarmy.org.
College dorm rooms can involve many mixed emotions.
Oh, she definitely reminds me of home.
Universities across the country are bringing a whole new set of roommates.
Whenever it gets particularly bad, I like to put her on my shoulder, and while she doesn't weigh that much, she weighs just enough to kind of ground me and bring me back.
How the University of Northern Colorado hopes these new campus residents help students with anxiety and change.
I can't imagine not having them.
Sunday after the game.